Welcome to Unite and Win, a guide to workplace organizing, a podcast series by the Emergency Workplace Organizing Committee, presented in partnership with Haymarket Books. My name is Wes Holing. I'm the Communications Coordinator at the Emergency Workplace Organizing Committee. This podcast is broken up into two parts: an audiobook version of our Unite and Win handbook, which is also available in paperback and ebook formats from Haymarket, and a handful of discussion episodes hosted by labor journalist and author Kim Kelly. Kim will be speaking with a diverse group of experienced labor organizers to go deeper on some of the themes we talk about in the handbook and other topics relevant to the labor movement. This is Lesson 2 of our Unite and Win handbook, published in 2024 by Haymarket Books. The organizing conversation. The organizing conversation is the basic building block of organizing. Getting to know your coworkers is critical to any organizing effort. The organizing conversation can move people to take action and organize. It consists of these basic and time-tested steps. Step 1. Make an introduction by telling your coworker who you are and what your concerns are. Step 2. Get the issues and find out what they care about. Step 3. Agitate by asking why they feel things are unfair and remind them that they're not alone. Step 4. Make a plan to win by explaining to them why collective action is the solution and telling them what the plan is. Step 5. Inoculate them against the boss's response by telling them what to expect. And Step 6. Call the question by asking them to join in taking action in person with one-on-one conversations of their own. In-person and one-on-one conversations strengthen relationships and foster trust. They also allow for more back and forth, which is important in situations where people have a lot of questions, concerns, or ideas to share. Not all of the above steps happen in every conversation. This is just a general guide. But it can be helpful to look at this model before having a conversation. If you remember 1 or 2 points from it, then it was helpful. You might also consider this list after a conversation with a buddy or your OC and ask yourself what you might have said differently. This will prepare you for future conversations and help you to not feel down on yourself if a conversation didn't go the way you imagined it would. The most important thing is to be yourself, be natural, and follow the flow of conversation. Kelly, a cleaning supplies company worker, said, "The 2 biggest obstacles I faced in my campaign are 1, the fact that we all saw each other only in the mornings and then everyone dispersed and I was the only one left in the office. And 2, the high turnover rate. In tackling those 2 things, I had to be bold. I had to introduce myself to new employees. I had to introduce myself to my coworkers who I just met the day before and say, 'Hey, do you mind if I get your cell phone number?'" Our coworkers' issues are the primary motivation for them to get involved in organizing, so it's important to learn about them as people and their issues. If you want to learn about your coworkers' issues, it's a good rule of thumb to listen as much as or more than you talk. Workers won't find this conversation important unless they feel personally fired up about the issues you're talking about. Then, show them how their issues connect with the organizing. In the case of an organizing campaign for a union, connect their issues with the organizing and bargaining that workers will be doing through the union. Clarissa, a supermarket worker, says, "Issues of favoritism and unfairness are common in my workplace. So I like to ask, do you have a favorite supervisor? And do you have a supervisor that you don't get along with?" That really leads the conversation to why they have issues. I've also had success talking about interactions with customers or sections and shifts that people like working best, or talking about how people are coming and going, why they think that is, and how they feel about it. I also like to get to know their personal life, whether they have family, if they're a student, if they have another job, things that they deal with outside of work that affect them at work. I found those to be successful segues into, what do you think would be a fair wage? What do you think about the benefits we're getting? Or did you hear they're slashing their contribution to retirement plans? When you agitate coworkers, you validate the unfairness of their concerns and show them their coworkers feel the same way. Once you've agitated coworkers, you can provide them with concrete hope by telling them about the OC's plans. Your coworkers won't want to take action unless they genuinely believe there's a way to tackle those issues, a plan to win. For example, in a union drive, you educate your coworkers about what unions are and how they function. You talk to them about the power and safety in numbers and the need for a majority of workers to stand together and represent yourselves. You can strengthen your case by sharing examples of how other workers have won through similar methods. Unite and Win is presented in partnership with Haymarket Books, publisher of a wide range of essential books, especially relevant to listeners like you. One that you might be interested in reading is Class War USA, This batch is from Worker Struggles in American History by Brandon Weber. In this rich collection of stories about ordinary people who resisted oppression and exploitation against all odds, union activist Brandon Weber captures crucial moments of struggle when working-class people built movements of hope and defiance. From the mines to the factories to the fields, Weber shares the experiences of real-life workers who organized, heroically resisted, and battled the bosses and corrupt politicians. An invaluable tool for learning the lessons of grassroots struggle, Class War USA is the perfect counter-narrative to the myth that change only comes from the top. Find Class War USA at haymarketbooks.org, where all paperback books are 20% off every day. Through one-on-ones, you also prepare your coworkers for how the boss will respond in order to stop the organizing. This process is often called inoculation. In some conversations, you end with an ask. Whether they agree and follow through on the ask tells us how ready they are to join the organizing effort. You might ask them to set up a meeting with another coworker, help create a list of coworkers' names, participate in an action, or sign a union card. It is critical to follow up with anyone you ask to do something. If you don't, you risk making the task seem unimportant. Signing cards should happen on the spot to avoid this getting put off. If they can't do it right then, schedule a date and time to follow up. Organizing happens through building and sustaining relationships. You do that in one-on-ones and in social gatherings. The important thing is to get to know your coworkers, build trust, and learn about their issues. Then, it is important to help them feel the unfairness of their issues and the depth of their connection to fellow workers through those issues. This also shows them how uniting allows us to overcome fear and build the power necessary to solve issues, and the importance of developing and carrying out organizing plans related to those issues. How do you organize in a remote workplace? Organizing in remote workplaces is based on the same principles of in-person organizing. There are even perks: no boss walking by your desk, no anti-union coworker listening in, and you can talk to more people during the day on calls than you can at an office. But it can be daunting to reach out to people you've never interacted with or met in person. Start with people you know and build your group from there. Find out who they know and what other teams you can connect with organically. Starting a conversation around a particular issue with a group of coworkers can be a tool to draw in new people. Don't worry about reaching out to someone you don't know. It's not as awkward as you think it might be. For the person on the other end of the line, having someone reach out to you to find out who you are, what you're up to, and how you're doing when you're mostly isolated can be nice. You can simply ask if they have time for a chat about some work stuff you'd like to get their thoughts on. Move your conversations off company channels as soon as possible. And try to remember people's communication preferences. Do they like email or text? What apps do they already have on their phones? JJ, a gaming worker, says, "A Signal group just sprung up with most of the workers at the company when we found out we were being acquired. You could see in that group who was agitated about certain issues and who might be easy to move." If you're phone banking, set up a Zoom meeting with other members of your OC and make your calls while you're all together on Zoom. Create social and fun spaces for coworkers, bringing people together in person for social activities and organizing meetings. Or make online meetings as engaging as you can. Sprinkle in fun social activities like online games or television viewing. JJ, the gaming worker from before, also says, "Our work Slack is a place where people come in at first very enthusiastically with their own hobbies and ideas, but it's quiet there so it can feel alienating. But in our Discord, we can be lively, and through the Discord, we started scheduling a lot of one-on-ones." Consider opening a meme channel on Slack, or create a thread of vibe checkers for people to vote on how their day is going using emojis or GIFs, and message each other throughout the day about how they're doing. Plan online coffee breaks during work. Invite coworkers to a holiday party with online gift giving or a secret Santa. Hesh, a tech worker, says, "In the remote work context, people are alienated and they crave connection with their coworkers. When you're in the office, it might be a pretty hard ask to ask someone to grab a coffee. It's going to cut into their day. But when we're remote, I can message people and say, 'I'm about to cook lunch, are you? Can we chat while we do that?' You can make it feel more informal and add less stress to their workday." Collective action is also possible online. You might want to create a salary spreadsheet where everybody shares what they get paid, or coordinate the answers to a company survey. You can change avatars or backgrounds to show support for the union, or collect workers' signatures and photos for a petition. You can plan slowdowns, work to rules, sick outs, or even strike. Safety first. Don't have an organizing Slack group on your work computer, or open your organizing chart on your work computer. Make sure everyone in your Slack group or Zoom call identifies who they are. Thanks for listening to Unite and Win, a guide to workplace organizing from the Emergency Workplace Organizing Committee and Haymarket Books. Visit haymarketbooks.org to find indispensable radical books, podcasts, virtual events, and other political education resources, including the Unite and Win handbook. Please also consider joining the Haymarket Book Club, one of the best ways to support Haymarket and help fund projects like this one. I'm your audiobook host, Wes Holing. Julia Yort is our senior producer, and Rachel Leitner is our engineer. Production support from Dafna Tir and Megan Swabada. Music from Epidemic Sound. The Emergency Workplace Organizing Committee supports any worker, anywhere in the country, in any sector, organizing for something better. Visit us at workerorganizing.org if you're ready to organize your workplace or volunteer with us. Please also consider making a donation in support of our work at workerorganizing.org/donate. Listen to Unite and Win, a guide to workplace organizing, wherever you get your podcasts. And be sure to subscribe, rate, and share with anyone who might benefit from it.